Hello and welcome back. This is a exciting little section here because we are going to be going over our staff roles, staff permissions, just setting up a new staff member, going over compensation. You'll get all these extra PDFs attached to this as well that will help you out during the process. But this is the first step of really starting to automate your company and taking one step back for you to free up your time. So now let's dive in. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to our setup. After our setup, we're going to go to the left-hand side over here, and then we're going to actually go to staff. And from staff, before we add a new staff member, we're going to set a new staff role. So you can see I have several. And usually with a new Wellness Living account, you have your front desk and you have your business owner. I want you to create a new account, and I want you to have the same permissions set as I do. Now, you can name this anything that you want. I have mine instructor, store associate, but you can change it to whatever language that you use for your business, whether it's a coach or, instructor. So you can see I skip over all these. This staff member does not have access to the business settings, which we went over in module 1. There's really no reason for them. The first time they have access to something is when we come across staff. So you want to have these two things checked off, and then this one at the bottom. Now I'm going to be going over just the ones that I have a check mark on. The manage staff profile, I want my staff to be able to access other staff members' profile because I want them to be able to see the phone number of other staff members. In case someone calls out or if they need coverage, I want my staff to be able to connect and call each other and figure it out without me in there, without them calling me and then I'm going around calling other people. I can just say, hey, if they do ask me, I'm saying, hey, go into the staff accounts and start calling some people. And then managing staff working hours. Yeah, just have that checked off. We'll get into that later when we go over our schedule. And then booking, you want to make sure that your staff members can book lessons at all times, especially for themselves. Because if they are at your facility and they are available, however, if it's listed on Wellness Living that they're not available, you want your staff members to be open for a lesson, say if someone comes in. So it's important that they can override things here. So that's important. Now we're going to go over to our services and schedule. So I have my staff members able to manage pretty much all the services and schedules that we do. It just makes it convenient. It's not like they're going to be doing something, but there are times when problems come up and they need to, they need to fix it. So just make sure that this is open. It's not like your staff members are going to go in there and start sabotaging their own company. So there's nothing to worry about. We're going to move down to online store. So I have everything checked off. So if you sell products, even if you sell like water bottles or anything of like that sort, and honestly, like your services, it's not necessarily a product, but it is something that people would buy from the online store. So I allow my staff access to manage everything within our online store. That's not the physical store when people actually come to our location. It's pretty much all the settings on the back end for people that purchase things online. Staff members really don't go on here too much unless they're a manager or if they have been with us for a long time. But I don't feel like having multiple staff roles with this clicked off. It's just a lot easier. No staff member is going to go into your store and start changing things around because one, they don't even know how to do that, or even if that even exists. So just have this checked off, and then we are going to go down to marketing. So I have manage client reviews. I like it when my staff members see client reviews because they are the face of the company. They are doing a lot of hard work, and honestly, they're getting the reviews, because of their service. So I want them to be able to see those reviews when they come in, and they will come in right underneath your alerts. And then that's where they'll see their reviews, and it's a nice thing. It's it's nice to come into work and see a nice review, something positive that you were a part of. So notifications, I have received in-app alerts, and let's just go down. In-app alerts is just if your staff member has a lesson coming up within 24 hours, they'll get alerted that they're having a lesson. So that it's just a nice reminder. Now, when it comes to clients, I give my staff members access to all my client information. It's not anything too personal. It's not like they can steal someone's identity or anything like that, but it is nice because they can go in and see their history of their past services or their past like private lessons that they did, and they can get an idea of who this client is. They can see their age, they can see, you know, their parents' name, so that when that client actually comes in, they can talk. They already know the parent's name, and then they already know the kid's name, so they can talk to both of them right away and have like a really welcoming experience right from the beginning. This also gives them access in the future once they are trained enough to actually do refunds and things of that sort as well, but we will get into that later. This is just about setting up their your staff account. And then when it comes to reports, I only allow access to these two reports. This is the client reports and attendance reports. As sometimes my staff members usually don't use this, but sometimes it's nice if like there are some people that I had in the past that were actually quite interested in like how many lessons they did and how many of their lessons are coming back for them. So it is nice to have that feature because there might be some downtimes and your staff members might be really curious about that. And if they are, that's a great staff member. So now we're going to go down to our power search permissions. I just have this checked off because I want my staff to have access to find, you know, staff members. Find clients, search for clients. That's right up here, so they can search clients. And then I think that might be it. Yeah, so that is it. When it comes to your staff roles, you hit your save button, but for me, I'm gonna go back. And now you have your instructor and staff associate. If you have another person, like a higher management position, you can see here I have a general manager. I pretty much have my general manager almost like a business owner. The same permissions to everything that I have access to except the business settings that we went over in Module 1, because I don't want that to be accidentally changed. So thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you again in the next module.